Team have been held to a goalless draw here at Cappielow against Dunfermline today, Jonathan. Can I get your reaction to the result and performance, please?
I was, after the two results we've had, I was extremely pleased with the work rate and the commitment of the players, and the attitude of the players was fantastic. Not one of the players let me down in that department, and I think we deserved at least a draw. I felt there wasn't many chances for either team. They had more possession. I felt we were more our passing and in the final third, and we looked a little bit more dangerous in the final third without creating enough chances maybe to score that goal. The one thing we were disappointed going for, was the final ball. Some sloppy passing from especially from our full-back areas. I think there was times that we could have caused them a little bit more problems with a good cross or a good ball up to the strikers, and the quality at times went there from our full-backs.
You did mention there was almost an extra dimension to the attack at times through Andrew Dallas.
I think I wanted a player like him, and know what he's capable of, and I think especially first half, I think everybody saw, he would be a real asset with his pace, his pressing ability, and he holds the ball up well when he gets it played to feet. So I think it would be a real asset, and I think he played really well for about 60 minutes, and then obviously tired and coming from reserve team football into this and into a pitch like it was today, we're very, very heavy. It's tough on a young boy. So, but I think he will be a real asset when he gets a few games. And also, I think it was clear to see it today. Both teams tired in the end, and it became a lot of mistakes from both teams. And the game, the last 5, 10, 15 minutes wasn't great quality for me this night.
Well, you were frustrated with the lack of chances.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I think. We want to create more chances, but I think we started quite well. Where Bob had a shot from distance, and they had a shot from distance. We didn't just hit the target. But I think the disappointing thing was there was 2 or 3 or 4 times we had good switches of play, got our fullbacks on the ball and got into that box area. We have the 2 players now with Bob and Andy who score goals, and the crossing quality wasn't there. A few slip balls through as well. That the final ball wasn't maybe great, so that was the reason why we didn't create more chances, I think. But some of the passing was very good, and some of the chances half chances we had, with and on the day, you hit a target and you score a goal.
2 new signings came in. They were part of 4 changes and a change to the system. Could you talk us through that, Jonathan, today?
Yeah, I felt looking at Dunfermline in the previous 2 games, we've been poor both games, and especially away from home where we played a 3 or a 5 if you like, and I felt with the player types to have with Higginbottom and Bakatui and the young striker, is that if they come inside and create those pockets, it's almost going to be 3v3 all the time, and that's going to cause us problem because they're very quick and they're very skillful on the ball. So I felt I had to counteract that and play with a 4, which was not ideal because Bucky's wife is heavily pregnant, and that was a worry for me. Not a worry, it's a great thing, but he might miss the game. With Rory McEwen being out injured, Jack is more of a wing back than a full back, so it was a little bit his first time he played that position this season. So I knew there was risks, but I felt we had to take him, and I thought all of the back 4 defended really well today, and obviously the keeper was very good as well.
You bring Robbie in for his debut. You must have faith in Robbie to do that.
I've known Robbie for a coach with him for a year and a half. He's been with the Rangers first team a year and a half with me, and then since I left he's been in with the first team all the time. So I knew the qualities he had. I know that he's a confident boy. He will take it on board, no problem. And I thought his handling today especially was very good. He didn't have many saves to make, but what he had, he was calm, and his distribution got better and better the longer the game went. So I think he will be a real good keeper for us.
And a clean sheet for him on his debut is always nice.
Yeah, you can't ask for more. And I think he had good help from his back 4, and I think the back 4 enjoyed playing with him. I felt he's vocal, he talks it through with them, and he demands a lot from his back 4, and you have to have a keeper that does that.
Final reflections, Jonathan, then a point at home to Dunfermline. What's your takeaway?
We always want to win at home, but I felt if you look at this league again, I come back to it. We have 7 points out of 12 in the last 3 games, which is all right. All teams are fighting for their lives. You can see that in the games. You see that yesterday in the United and the United game. You see that in results every week. It's a fight, and you have to be up for the fight, and we were up for the fight today. Sometimes it's very hectic, very pacey, and you know, end of the day, these games are often, or always, the difference is that both boxes, you don't make mistakes in your own box, which we didn't do today, and you get that chance, you take that chance, and that's the difference in this league. And I'm very pleased because I've made some changes this week, but also before. Had players out, I brought players in, and I threw them straight in the firing line. Young Dylan Dykes came in as a young player. He did really well, I felt today, really good. He will only get better because he's only used to reserve team football for a while. I think when you make those changes, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be bumps, there's going to be people disappointed in the dressing room, and I have to make these choices now. And I think this week coming, I'm going to make more changes, and you know, it's going to be another, you know, week for us that you know, we're going to have to grow stronger together. And I'm really positive now with this game, with the application for the players. I'm really positive going into the next game because we looked solid, and we looked to have a, you know, a little bit a new dimension to our team, especially going forward.
You mentioned changes next week there. Will that be new signings?
I hope so. I hope to bring in, but as I said, I will only do it if it's the right choice for me and for the team, and obviously for the club. So we're still working on a couple of deals that may or may not happen.
Excellent, Jonathan. Thank you very much for your time.